It's like the Escudo all over again. The nostalgia. Yes, Gran Turismo Sport does indeed have a glitch where the Subaru, amongst some other cars as well, can literally be made to break the speed of sound. The method can be a bit fiddly to do, but you will get the hang of it, and I'm going to go through every single step in this video. But first off, we must start with the setup, which basically revolves around royally fucking your car's gearbox up. But we must dive in to the other aspects of the setup first. So you want your power as high as it can go, your weight as high as you can go as well, racing super soft tyres on the rear, but racing hards at the front. That's important because you will have to do some reversing. Ride height as high as it can go front and rear. Spring rate as high on the back but as low on the rear. Anti-roll bars on 10 and 10. Low compression, low rebound on the front, high on the rear for compression and rebound as well. 1 degree of camber front and rear, and neutral toe. Those are your downforce levels that you need, and for the diff I don't think this matters as much, but I've got 5, 60 and 5. But the transmission is where it gets interesting. You need to do a gearbox flip, so first off go to the final drive and take it all the way down to 2.5. Then go to your max speed, bring that all the way down, and now what you need to do is go back to the final gear and bring it all the way the other way up to 5.5. And now as you can see you have really ridiculously short gears, and you just need to finish the job by making them as short as possible, taking every single individual ratio to the right. Now in regular driving this setup is pretty useless. You top out at 46 miles an hour at the top of 5th gear. It's silly, and the car has a bit of a trouble getting out the pit lane as well on auto drive, but with the method I'm about to show you, that is how you extract the silly speeds from it. So for the method, what you need to do is find the pit wall, put your car up against it, put on the brakes, let go of the brakes, slam the throttle down in 1st gear, so you're just in the wall spinning up your rear tyres. And then after a while of just sitting there spinning up the tyres, you need to quickly shift to 2nd gear, and then as soon as you're in 2nd gear, go to reverse, and then constantly switch between 1st and reverse, just changing gears. And as you see here, your car should just keep going backwards and slowly build up speed. Now this is the bit that people struggle with, but the more you do it, the better success rate you'll have. It doesn't always happen first time, but as I said, the more you do, the more consistent you will be. Sometimes it does go wrong though, because it's a glitch and this obviously isn't what the car should be doing and how the gearbox should be reacting. Weird things do occur. I've had it where it's just been going backwards in 1st gear without me even touching anything. It just did the glitch by itself with no input from me. It was very strange. I took a video of it just to prove that I wasn't touching the controller because it was just ridiculous. And sometimes you do get this unfortunate lurch where you end up doing a wheelie and then the glitch stops working once your wheels leave the ground. And then you just have to try again and you'll be fine. Negotiate the corner, that should be pretty easy. On that first straight you shouldn't be going fast enough where you roll your car, so you don't need to worry about steering, just ride the wall all the way around, keeping the accelerator down and shifting between 1st and reverse. But it's when you come off of the 2nd corner where you really engage the cheat, because what you need to do is before you spin your car around, make sure you're in reverse gear, then grab the brakes and get your car facing forward while still in reverse. It can be a bit of a pain and it's not always the most elegant as you're bouncing off the walls. As you can see, it didn't go very well in this attempt, but I do get my car facing the right way eventually. And then you just floor it in reverse and your car absolutely takes off. The faster you go, the quicker it seems like the speed is building. Once you reach about 500 miles an hour, the sound completely cuts out. But you keep accelerating. all the way to over 800 miles an hour, and if you get it right, you can get into the 900s. Once you reach the corner, you obviously want to slow down a decent way before. You can take the corner about 300-400 miles an hour. Be careful, obviously, with the way the setup is done. It's a bit of a sketchy thing to drive, but you can keep it on kind of half throttle and you should get through the corner with relative ease. But that's about it for the method. I'm just going to leave you now to enjoy the silliness of the results. Unfortunately though, the fun doesn't last forever. After a while of driving in reverse gear at that speed, the car does buck at the rear and it will spin out, and then you'll have to put your car back into the wall and repeat the whole process again. So you can't carry on at that speed for that long of a time, but the more you reverse and do that step first, the longer you can go forwards. So it's worth bearing that in mind, but if you do get enough of a run up in reverse before you spin your car around and do it at the right time, you could do a lap of Route X in about a minute and a half. It's quite silly. It's not going to be the most useful, but I thought it was a fun glitch since it's actually been around for a while. Lord knows how this was discovered in the first place, but it hasn't been patched yet, so I encourage you to give it a go before it is. That's going to be it for this video. If you have any questions or are still unsure about a certain aspect, post a comment down below and I'll get back to you trying to explain any further if needed. But that's it. Thank you very much for watching. I'm not touching this. Bruh, what? Just to reiterate, guys, I'm really not touching it. As you can see, it is on. And if I'll try and get them both in shot. If I press the handbrake now, you saw the little light come on. Oh no, I think I've stopped it from working now. But that was just to prove it was this controller.